Hi, everyone. David Essel here. For the past 43 years as a counselor, master life coach, minister, number one best-selling author, and more. We cover all kinds of topics. And one that no one talks about is constipation. My gosh, right? Millions of Americans suffer with it every day. Millions of Americans are afraid to talk about it, which is why we want to talk about it today. Could your constipation be diet related? I'll be doing another exercise on emotions and constipation in a little while. But could it be diet related? There's so many people that really struggle. And what's a normal amount of bowel movements? I mean, you can read hundreds of different articles and studies, you can get hundreds of different answers, but the one that most of my doctor friends rely on is at least a bowel movement a day. Now, I have clients, and one of the reasons I'm doing this video right now, that will have a bowel movement every 2 or 3 or 4 days. I have other clients that'll have a small bowel movement on, let's say, a Monday. It might be a little bit more in volume on Tuesday, and then have no bowel movements for the next 3 days. And then we have other people that have constant, and it would be more of an irritable bowel syndrome, a constant worry about having to have a bowel movement. But we're going to stay with the constipation, the people that really struggle with having regular bowel movements. And yes, it is oftentimes diet related, but I want to start off by saying this. Many times it can also be related to medications. So the very first thing I have all my clients do when they talk about constipation is check every medication they're on, every supplement that they're on. I don't care if it's over the counter or from a doctor, and see if any of the contraindications could be constipation, if that's one of the side effects. So we want to rule out first, am I taking something that's creating that, right? That's number one. Number two, a gallon of water a day, a gallon of pure water a day, a gallon of pure water a day. Years and years ago, friends of mine that were bodybuilders told me, and then now we're going back to the 80s, right? That if I drank a gallon of water a day, I'd have more energy, I'd have more focus. And I thought they were crazy. In 1990, I believed them. I started drinking more than a gallon a day, and that can really help with constipation as we have the fluids moving through the bulk in our body from the diet that we eat. And then next is diet. And this is massive. This is just so huge. If you're eating fast foods, if you're eating junk foods, well, you can pretty much depend on constipation being a friend for many of us for as long as we're going to stay on that kind of a diet. The best diet is going to be one extremely high in vegetables, extremely high in complex carbohydrates, and that would be brown rice, brown or whole wheat pasta, whole brown rice from a rice perspective. When we talk about breads, 100% stone ground, those kind of things where they're already filled with fiber. Now, here's where we get into something interesting, right? If you are sensitive to gluten, then all of the rices and the pastas and the breads are going to have to be a different formula than having to do with wheat, because gluten comes from wheat, right? So if you have constipation, you're going to have to stay away from gluten to make sure that's not part of the problem. And there's all kinds of alternatives. There's gluten-free bread, there's gluten-free bagels, there's gluten-free pasta, there's gluten-free everything just about. So don't worry about it. It may take a little while to get your system regulated to gluten-free, but that could be a major player right there, right? So I'm going to keep this short today. It doesn't have to be that complicated. A gallon of water, pile on the veggies, pile on the complex carbohydrates. And if you cannot handle gluten, or if you're eating complex carbohydrates and you're still constipated, then get rid of that gluten. Make sure that you're really doing that. Exercise is another huge component. Moving the body will move the bowels. That's something that we learned a long time ago in school, but move the body to move the bowels. So walking 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day could be really great as well. And then the last thing is taking some type of a fiber supplement. I mean, there's millions out there, and you're probably going to have to check to see what works best for you. I have clients that are on Metamucil. For God's sake, Metamucil has been around forever, and they're on the stevia brand, meaning it's sweetened with a healthy sweetener, stevia. That's an option. And then there's just plain psyllium fiber capsules that you could take 4 to 6 of those on a daily basis. Read the labels, right? If you can't handle the psyllium because it's wheat, there are other non-psyllium or non-wheat constipation products that you can take as well. Okay, so there's all kinds of options. On a previous, or I should say my next video, I'll be talking about emotions and constipation. But if you slow down here, get rid of junk food, eat super clean and healthy. I know it's a pain in the butt, right? Drink a gallon of water a day. Look at the supplements and medication, making sure there's no contraindications to what you're taking that may be creating your constipation. Do everything I talked about right here, and you will be on your way to a cleaner system. Now, the last thing I will mention that just popped into my head is that sometimes candida, an overgrowth of bad bacteria in the gut, can also be a player with bloating and constipation. So in that case, if it's been something that's going on for a while, you may want to go to your local health food store and get a candida cleanse kit. They usually last between 14 and 21 days. And that way you're going to get rid, if it is an overgrowth of candida in your intestinal system, we'll be able to clear that out and then combine that with a healthy diet, and you should be on your way. Below, you'll see a free program on helping Americans heal. You'll get our #1 best-selling book on positive thinking when you join. That's free. And then there's a certification program. The world needs more mental health coaches. If you love helping people and you want to make an additional income, look below, okay? Because we have the information there. And also comment below. If you have more ideas from a food supplement point of view that have helped you with constipation, below, go ahead and list below so other people can read it and see your answers. Share the video, and of course, join our channel. I'm David Essel. Have a great day.